welcome to our webinar. I'm going to hand it over to our President and CEO, Lisa Richards-Toney.
Thank you, JG, and welcome to everyone. It's really good to, well, I would say see you, but I don't know if I can right now, but we're all getting used to this format where we talk to the screen, and we hope that everyone can feel the engagement. I'm so glad you joined us. This is quite a time for all of us. I ask people, how are you doing? People say, I'm coping, I'm existing. And we've been saying that for a long time, but we are excited actually. You know, we do have this conference coming up. We are gathering in New York City. It is something to celebrate. And I'm so happy to see you all here. I hope that you feel equally as excited and hopeful as we do. It has been a year, and I want to remind everyone we're still in a pandemic. And everything that we're doing at this time is to prepare for a quality experience at conference for you. But I want to let you know that in that experience, we're asking everyone to come with an open mind and open heart, because the reality is that we're asking for people to take on a new way of being with your colleagues at APAP, a new way of engaging, a new way of thinking about your businesses and how you conduct business at APAP in those, in that Expo hall, or as we say now, the Expo Commons. Lots of things are changing. And we're doing these changes so that we can be fully accessible to so many of you who we know are still recovering. And we at APAP are still recovering too. All right. So I'm really happy to see you all here. Today is a very important meeting. We're going to go through the basics for what you can expect at conference, all the key information. And we're also going to talk about showcasing and so forth. So it's a great thing to be here. My staff is at the ready. I want to thank them very much for their incredible hard work. We opened registration. Whew, what a feat. Congratulations to my staff, and thanks to the board as well for all of your support. And thank you all for signing up so swiftly. We have over 400 registrants already, so we're looking good. Who do I send it over to? Is it Neo?
We are going to go to Jenny before me, but thank you, Lisa.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. I'll be sharing with you a little bit of what's coming up today in this session. Today's agenda, we're going to go over some broad overview of the conference programming schedule, the schedule at a glance. But as you all know, you've come here to hear more about the Expo Commons, about conference showcasing, and ways to be visible on the SwapCard platform. We're in this new hybrid space of being both in New York and online. And then we will talk, we'll have an extensive Q&A. We look forward to engaging with you. So to head this up is Neo Narner-Madison, Conference Director.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Lisa. And hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. As Jenny mentioned, we're going to go through the conference programming schedule and go through some details about the Expo Commons space and showcasing at the APAP conference. So to start, pre-conference activities will be happening in December this year, online on the SwapCard platform. That'll be December 6th, 7th, and 8th. And that programming is free and open to the field. You will need to register to attend via our event registration system. And anyone who has registered for the conference is automatically registered for the pre-conference programming that's happening in December. Again, at that time, we will be focused on affinity group meetings, field-wide conversations, and professional development. And moving to January, we will have virtual programming, online programming that will take place January 10th, 11th, and 13th. And this is open to both in-person and online registrants of the conference. During that time, we will have professional development sessions, special interest forums, online speed dating and networking, online Expo Common Space, online showcasing, and there will be access at that time to pre-recorded professional development and plenaries for the online attendees. And then our in-person conference dates are January 14th through 17th. I would like to note that our programming in person in New York is ending on Monday, January 17th. Usually it would end on that Tuesday, but programming will end midday on January 17th. And at that time, that programming is open to in-person registrants. And again, there will be plenaries. Those will be live streamed so that the online attendees will also have access to some of the programming that's happening during the in-person conference dates. And then professional development sessions will be recorded and available on the Swap Card platform. At that time, we'll also have in-person Expo Commons showcasing and professional development. So now moving on to the Expo Commons space. So for both in-person and online exhibitors, the Expo Commons this year will be arranged alphabetically by company name. And so you won't need to select a space. It will be organized alphabetically. And this will be the case on the virtual platform as well as in person. And you'll be able to locate, there'll be a floor plan that will be on the Swap Card platform. There won't be a printed program map, and we encourage all attendees to utilize the Swap Card platform for wayfinding and for conference materials such as the agenda or any resources provided during sessions that will all be housed on the Swap Card platform. And again, the Expo Hall Commons space will be online starting the 10th of January through the 13th. And the in-person booths need to be set up by January 14th at noon. And I'll just back up a little bit. So for the online exhibitors and the in-person exhibitors, you have access to the Swap Card platform beginning in December for setup. The platform will be open for online pre-conference activities beginning December 6th, but on December 3rd, you'll be able to begin to access the platform to set up your booth. But booth setup on the virtual platform does not need to be completed until January 7th because it will not be live until that time. But you have the month of December to set up your virtual booth. And that is the case for online and in-person attendees. And again, setup of the online Swap Card platform must be set up by January 7th. And the in-person Expo Commons setup must be complete by noon on January 14th, Friday, January 14th. And this is both for in-person online exhibitors. The online Expo Commons is not required, staffing isn't required at any point. It is open for you to house information about your roster or dates that you have coming up, but it's not required to be manned at any point during the conference, but you can set meetings in that space at any point. In person, there will be 3 hours of dedicated Expo Commons space Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And within that time, 1 hour each day will be dedicated to speed dating in person. Each space in person will be set with 1 table and 4 chairs. Additional furniture can be purchased with our partner, GES. Once you are an exhibitor, you will be able to work with GES if you want to rearrange the furniture that's in your space. If you need an additional chair, that's something you would be able to work with GES to provide. And once we get to the end of our presentation today, we will leave lots of time for questions. So going on to showcasing and producing showcase listings. Showcases can be scheduled anytime from January 10th through January 17th, and that is online or in person in New York. Showcase listings and the schedule will be on the Swap Card platform. Again, a reminder that unlike years past, we will not be printing a program book. All listings will be on the Swap Card platform agenda. Thank you, Annie. In-person and online showcases are independently produced by you on your preferred live streaming platform or at your preferred location in person in New York. Online showcases can be pre-recorded or live, and in-person showcasers have the option to produce live stream showcases or showcases that are just in person in New York. And your listings on the platform should include your live airing URL as well as your replay URL, because they will live on the swap card platform through the end of January. So step by step, we're going to spend some time going through the process for showcase listings. You must first register for the conference. You do need to be an APAP member to attend the conference. Then you will be able to purchase your showcase listing through the registration portal, which is $10 per listing. And then once you've purchased your listing, you will receive an email with an invitation to Timely. The Timely calendar is where you will input your showcase listing information. Different from last year on our virtual platform, this was a manual process. This year, all producers will have the opportunity to upload their information, to change and edit their information as they choose during the conference through the Timely platform. And listings will go live on SwapCard on December 17th. They don't need to be completed by that point, but at that point, that's when they'll be published and attendees will be able to see listings for both in-person and online showcases. And next, we're going to go to JG, and we're going to spend some time talking about how we use the Timely calendar to input showcase listings. This is a different process than what we have done in the years past and different from what took place last year through the platform. So we want to spend some time getting you acquainted with this new process.
Neil, so we're going to be partnering with Timely this year to produce our calendar. Well, it's our calendar for the showcase. So once you get your invite to the Timely calendar and you create your login and all that, you're going to end up on this fabulous little page here. And adding an event is super duper simple. You're going to already be set up with this calendar. It's already going to be set for you. All you have to do is first click on this add event, and then you get to start building your event. I've already gone ahead and started building JG's spectacular event and started filling it out. On the right side here, you're going to fill out with your title, a description, and you can upload images, even videos. I recommend images, they'll work a lot better for yourself. And then you'll be able to schedule times and dates during the conference or during the online period if you choose to only do it during online. And then later in this, we'll also discuss if you want to do both in person and online. This part here is what attendees will see when they first click on your profile. So they'll see a description. I recommend including contact information for how to get in contact with you, where you're producing it, if you're producing it at the Hilton or in another space in New York, or if it's simply entirely online. But you'll go through, and I do want to point out, let me go back real quick, that we are producing in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. So you do want to make note of that will have to be listed in that manner. You'll go through, add different tags and filters, such as if you are a theater experimental individual, you'll list it as theater experimental. If you do jazz, you'll do it as such, country, however you might do it. And we'll have those tags already built for you so that you can just simply add those onto your platform. Underneath cost and ticketing, you'll be able to put your RSVP requirements down there so that if your space is limited, let's say some studios in New York are limited to 20 people right now because of COVID, you'll be able to list that as well so that you know who's coming into the room beforehand. So once you publish the event, you'll come back to this wonderful page and it'll have your description here and people will be able to interact with it. But let's say you want to do an online event and you're like, JJ, how do I add that? Well, it is super easy, guys. You're going to hover over it and they'll give you 3 different options of send to draft, clone, and trash. Unless you don't want to have your event, don't click trash, and we're not going to send it back to draft to edit unless you need to edit. So we're going to click clone. It'll make this new event. It'll probably say something like JG's Spectacular Event number 2. I recommend indicating in the title subscription that it is going to be an online event. You'll make that, and unless there's something else that you need to add here, everything's going to stay the same. except you're going to go down here to venue. You're going to select online viewing. It's already preset for you, so you just have to click that. You'll be able to add links onto that and then move forward with it, such as if you were doing it at the Hilton, Midtown, or online viewing. You'll publish that, and then you'll have 2 fun events showcases ready for agents. And now we move into our Q&A portion, and I'll go back through it towards the end of this, and I'll do a live reset if need be.
Okay, JG, I think it may be helpful if we do a live demo of using the timed calendar.
Absolutely. Give me 1 second to switch over, everybody. All right, everyone, just let me move some of the things I have here out of the way. So you're going to first land on this page when you're creating that event. And like I said, you can go in. We're going to send this back to draft so that we can just edit it. You're going to click on your drafts up here. Give it a quick second. And I already have a few events going on, but we're going to go into this one. We're going to click edit by just hovering over it. And you can change anything you want in here. I have made a wonderful description. I've also put down my artist fee if I need to be, and my contact information. Feel free to email me. Don't follow this website because it doesn't lead anywhere. But if it did, you can put it down there. You'll be able to upload your images here. And like I said, you can do your specific timing when you want your showcase to premiere if you're doing it in person. And if you're doing multiple in-person showcases or multiple online showcases, you would just duplicate. You'll be able to switch your time zone, but we'll be producing in the Eastern Standard Time zone, so do make note of that. You can also do repeats here, such as if it's going to happen daily during that specific time period during the conference, if it's going to be the same time only. Venue details will list different venues. You can add on to new ones. So we'll have it preset for the Hilton Midtown. If you're producing within the Hilton Midtown in certain rooms, let's say you're producing at Studio 353, which is just down the street. You'll be able to add that information. Somewhere in New York, I'm going to put in whatever address is right here. We'll choose Pasadena, why not? And just save it. Here we will have special tags and categories for you. This one's already set to jazz, so you can add that one on along amongst other ones. And of course, your organizer. With cost and ticketing, you can set up with your event registration RSVP and create a ticket block so that if you need to limit it for anything, or if you just need a certain subset of that, depending on your venue's requirements, or to know who's coming to it, you can do that as well. And then down here, you can make little notes for yourself for internal notes about this. If you're getting certain amounts of traffic, I've made a note here just for my own perusal. And then, like I said, you'll publish. But I'm not going to do the ticketing, so I don't need that for the moment, so no tickets. Now we're going to go back and publish. And so when I go back to published events, I'm going to see this right here. And like I said, if you're going to duplicate this event again, all you have to do is hover over clone. We're going to make, it's already going to pre-populate with 2. We're going to say JG Spectacular Event, Online Edition. I'm not changing anything else beyond maybe the timing. We're going to change this to, I want it to be on the last day of the conference, and I want it to be the last thing that you guys are going to see at 1:30-ish. And it's going to last for about 20 minutes. And then the last thing I'm going to do is change my venue details. It's going to be an online viewing only. And with my online viewing, I can edit it and I can put it on the specific website. In this case, it's going to be on Swap Card, which will premiere, but you can also change it up with that. You click Save, Publish. And now I have 2 events happening on 2 different days, with one in person on the 14th and the other one online on the 17th.
Thank you, JG. And now we can start to go through some of the questions that have come up. The first question is, what is the size of the Expo Commons space? The Expo Commons space is an 8 by 10 space. Every space in the Expo Commons is the same size. And again, this year, unlike in the past, the spaces will be organized alphabetically. There will be pipe and drape this year in the space. So you can hang a banner in your space this year. The space does accommodate 4 chairs and 1 table. You can order additional furniture from GES. The furniture would be a table. You could choose to, a chair. You could choose to move your table and not use it. You can order a magazine rack or an end table. However, we are encouraging everyone to use the swap card platform. You are not required to bring a booth setup like you may have done in the past, as you can store many of your materials on the swap card platform. So I think a lot of questions came in about sizing. So the timely calendar will be integrated into the swap card platform. There will be a tab in the platform that has the calendar where all the showcase listings will live. This year, you can choose to create your showcase, your listing, and make RSVPs required. And so they won't be able to access your link if they don't RSVP. So you will capture the attendees that are registering and attending your showcase online. There will be a map of the Expo Commons space on the swap card platform so that you can find exhibitors in the Expo Hall Commons space in person and online. And that will be organized alphabetically. On the platform, you also have the option to search and to filter by genre and to search by name for exhibitors in the Expo Commons space. The space in the Expo Commons is provided with 4 chairs and 1 table. That is included in the Expo Hall setup that comes with your registration for the space. Any additional furniture would be at your expense. And I also saw a question I'll answer. You cannot bring in your own furniture to the Expo Commons space. The New York Hilton is a union hotel, and we are bound by the rules there and the guidelines. So all furniture must come through our show decorator, who is GES. And again, your registration in that space includes 4 chairs and 1 table. For virtual showcases, you have the choice of doing a live airing or providing a recorded on-demand showcase. And you can provide a URL for the recording. So in that regard, it can live on and that anyone can come to your showcase and look at it at any time during the conference if it's replayed, because the platform will be open through the end of January. I see a question. Let's see. Will there be enough space if too many apply to attend in person? In terms of Expo Commons space, like in the past, there is always a limited amount of space we have for common space. But right now we anticipate that we will have close to 1,000 attendees in person. If we have more than that, we will accommodate more attendees, but there is a limited amount of space for exhibiting in the common space. Let's see, here's a question. Do all agencies in the Expo Commons need to participate in speed dating when that takes place? Yes, at that point, the Expo Commons space is dedicated to speed dating. During the other dedicated 2 hours each day, you can conduct meetings. And outside of the dedicated time, you can conduct meetings at any point that you wish in the Expo Hall. It's just not dedicated hours, and you don't have to man your space, but if you choose to, you can conduct meetings there at any point once you are set up. And I think there was another question about why we are setting up on Friday. That was done to address the request of exhibitors wanting to have a dedicated space to hold meetings on Friday. Although we don't have dedicated hours at that time, our understanding is those in town would want to have a space in the hotel where they could meet, and that's why we were having it set up when the conference opens at noon on Friday. Yes, electricity will be available in the expo hall. Wi-Fi and electricity will be available. Speed dating in the expo hall. Thank you, guys. I'm going through the questions that are in the chat. Speed dating in the expo hall will be the first hour each day in the expo hall. And the remainder of the time, you're free to conduct meetings as you choose. Let's see, will the expo hall space be the same as in previous years? It will be one of the spaces that we've used in the past. We are still working through those arrangements with the Hilton. But we are generally using space that we have used in the past. A standard outlet, electricity will be available at no additional cost to the participants. Now, let's see, JG, are you able to pull up your screen with swap cards? Someone has asked for a sample of what the agenda and the exhibitor pages will look like. And actually what we're sharing is the format that it was last year. It will be a bit different, but organized alphabetically. But if you bear with us for a moment, I believe we can pull that up. Okay. The question is how many floors of expo hall space we're going to use. And that will be determined by the number of exhibitors we have. We will accommodate the numbers that we get. At this point, we may be using a couple of floors, okay, of space in the expo hall.
Neo, I believe JG's screen may be frozen, so we'll hang on while we figure that out.
Thank you. Okay, I'll see this again. Each booth is going to be 8 by 10. That is the standard size. Each space will be the same size. Pipe and drape is going to be 8 feet high within the expo space that the back wall will be. We are still working on what the final design is, and then we'll be able to share more information about the banner size or pop-up banners that will be permitted in the space. And this is one I don't know if we answered, but each showcase listing is $10. So that's $10 per listing. So you would be paying, if you were buying 3, it would be $30 for the total. This year, and going back to booth size, this is a unique year. We, APAP and the field, are still in the process of trying to get on the other side of the pandemic. And in order to provide equity and to make participating more cost-effective for everyone, we have re-envisioned what the expo space is. So this year, all spaces are the same. This is the case for the 2022 conference. This is not, it may be different in the past or in the future, but this is what the space will look like. In the past, there have been varying sizes of booths at varying rates to participate. But trying to meet our members where they are currently, we have streamlined the process and there's one size available for everyone to participate. This session is being recorded and will be available on our website, I believe tomorrow after the recording is done. Okay, so speed dating will happen in a couple of places, but in the Expo Commons space in person, speed dating will happen during the first hour of the 3 hours of dedicated time in the Expo Hall space, Saturday, Sunday, and again on Monday. If you have questions regarding, I think, showcasing, you can reach out to the APAP team, which I think Annie is answering that as well. Thank you. More information on speed dating and how you sign up will be available in the coming weeks. Please look to receive more information on that. That speed dating does occur in a few different locations within the hotel, but in the Expo Commons space, If you have a table, that would be your table where you're going to be. And once you set up, that's your table for the duration of the conference. So that's where speed dating will take place. The first attendee list will be sent to registered attendees next week, which Monday is the 22nd, I believe. We'll be emailing a list of attendees that have registered thus far. During the speed dating time, you cannot set up meetings in the Expo Commons space if you're participating in speed dating. But the Expo Commons space is open and you can conduct meetings at any time throughout the day, not just during the dedicated hours. But the only time you cannot is during the 1 hour of dedicated speed dating networking time. Okay, let's see. There will be, we do not know the Hilton parking rate that's listed at this time. You can check the Hilton website, and if you have that, if you can drop that, please, thank you, in the chat for more information on the rates, or through the link on our registration site for hotel information. Showcase listing purchases are open now through the Cvent registration platform. If you've registered for the conference, you can go into your registration and modify your registration and purchase a showcase listing. It is there in the path with registration. Let's see, well, there'll be a third floor networking lounge. There will not be a third floor networking lounge in place this year and at the hotel. Yes, you can, the question is, can we set up appointments at the booth outside of dedicated Expo Hall Commons time? Yes, you can at any point during the day. It is not required that you don't meet in that space during professional development. At any point during the day, you can set up meetings with the exception of the 1 hour of dedicated speed dating time. Tables in the Expo Hall space are round and they are draped with a tablecloth. Are there questions that I may have missed at this point?
Size of the tables is coming up, the actual size.
That information will be available once we have finalized our arrangements with the hotel. And I have not answered that because we are still working on final details, but it will be large enough to accommodate 4 chairs at the table and for meetings for 4 people. But there will be a exhibitor kit that will be available with GES very soon, and it will have those final details in it. But again, the table will accommodate 4 chairs and have a tablecloth as well. Okay, I think we have a frozen screen. If we're not able to show the sample of what the Expo Hall listing looks like in swap card, we will do screenshots and add that to the website on the Expo Commons page. Let's see, there will be, with the exhibitor kit, there will be a list of best practices and FAQs provided as well in the space for participating online and in person. I'm not sure I understand the question or the comment rather. Let's see, alpha order listing of online exhibitors. At previous conferences, this has been done, resulting in First Alpha company having skewed traffic stats. Okay. Oh, well, yes, the traffic stats will show who has clicked on your booth, clicked through. So not just because it's in the listing, the attendee has to actually click on your booth to be counted in the stats. Yes, so the question is just confirming for everyone here that everyone who signs up for the in-person conference automatically will have access to the virtual conference. That is true. And those attendees also have access to the pre-conference. So if you've registered, you're as an in-person attendee, you have access to the online content, both in December and in January, the 10th, the 11th, and the 13th. The webinar today is being recorded and will be available on our website. So the speed dating sessions happening will be an hour. And the question may be how long is each session, as if it's 3 minutes or less. and that has yet to be determined. Our conference committee is working on the details of speed dating, and more information on that will be available in the coming weeks. I do not have information on analytics on the traffic on the platform last year, but I believe we still have access to that information and we can pull that. And I believe that was a question from Marion. We can gather that information. Are there additional questions? The booth spaces are 8 by 10. We are designing them to accommodate meeting space for up to 4 people. You can work with the design. You can add 2 additional chairs, but again, that will make it a tighter space. You could choose to not have any furniture in your space if you want it to be standing room only, but you could add up to 2 chairs or not have any furniture at all if you choose. And we are working with the hotel and with GES to finalize exhibitor information. And you will be getting an email at least next week that says when you'll get access to the exhibitor kit. And speed dating, there will be hours during the online portion of the conference as well for speed dating. Are there additional questions? JG or Jenny, is there anything more?
I'm seeing one. I know Sarah Hogg has sent a question about a resource that's been seconded by a couple of folks too, which is there a written resource that provides best practices and guidelines for setting up an online booth and showcase and an in-person booth? So she's just referring to like many do's and don'ts that are being brought up in the chat.
We do have FAQs that address some of those details. And from this, we'll add some more information to that, but that will be available on our website, on the Expo Commons page.
And everybody who is signed up in person indeed has access to the online conference. So all the activities online, if you are signed up for in-person conference. That's answering another question. Thanks guys so much for your patience. You have many questions and they're all really great ones. So we're trying to sort of scrub the chat here to look for everything to make sure we can do our best to answer them. Neo, did you already talk about electricity?
I have mentioned electricity, that yes, that is available in the Expo Hall. That is not an additional charge to the attendees.
And somebody asked about being able to see the Expo landing page before December 3rd. So you can prepare your materials. If you have, and I know this doesn't help necessarily new folks, but it is the same platform as last year, if that's at all helpful. Neo, do you have any insights on that?
You will be able to see it. I think we can put up screenshots by tomorrow at the latest of what it looked like last year. So yes, far in advance of needing to set up your virtual page.
There are a number of questions about pop-up banners or ordering banner sizes. I know as a marketer, we always have to get things done in advance. Can you give any guidance on the banner size for that 8 by 10 space?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jenny, for highlighting that question again. I did mention that we are still working on the setup in the Expo Hall. And once that exhibitor kit is available, which we are hoping is very soon, before the end of November, we'll be able to speak to the exact sizes of the pop-up banners. I did note that the Expo Commons space will have pipe and drape at 8 feet of height, but more express details will be available very soon.
Looks like we're getting to most of them. If anybody has any others, please. I think there was the analytics being tracked at this year's conference, just to clarify Marion Leibowitz's earlier question and the question of a few others. What's the setup for capturing analytics this year?
So just as it was in January on SWAP card will be able to provide analytics of the traffic to your landing page, anyone that's clicked through to your page. Additionally, if you've purchased a showcase listing, you'll be able to require RSVPs for your event, so you'll be able to track the traffic for your listing through the Timely calendar. And I was able to pull up my screen in SwapCart, but again, we'll do screenshots and go into more detail, but I can share what the Exhibitor landing page looked like in the space. And I think I have access to share my screen. Can everyone see the SwapCart landing page now? Yes, great. Okay, this is what the listing looked like in SwapCart. So this is an alphabetical listing by company name of all the organizations that participated. So their listing will have your name and your logo or the image that you submit when setting up your page. Let's see. And then when you click on your page, you have the option to put additional images. It will tag everyone who's attending the conference as well that's on your team. You can link them to your page with additional contact information. It's not listed on the APAP page, but you also have an option to add a section here to put roster, a scrolling roster with links that go to your artist on your roster, or linking back to your website as well. And here on the right, you'll see this would be if you were someone stopped and they sent a message that they wanted to meet, you would see a listing of everyone who's contacted you on your page here. We'll go back again to the main page. So you can see here the companies that this is my login. So these are the companies that I had bookmarked. You'll see that on the side, but that will be different for each attendee. To the companies they've got bookmarked, you've also got a refined list. You can sort by alpha name or put anything here in the search section. And this was under the Exhibitor tab on the platform. And this will look similar this year or for this coming January's conference. And we will add some screenshots of this to the FAQs on the page just to help. But that's what that looks like.
Yeah, we had a couple of remaining questions, just in case you have the exact specifics at this point. I know we're awaiting much from the Hilton, but do you know if the Hilton UPS Center will receive the shipped banners if people are shipping materials?
Yes, the Hilton is open for regular business in that regard. They are not open at full capacity at this point, but the business center is open for shipping.
So they can
hotel.
receive it, those can be received at any time?
At any time.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. I think I just saw a question regarding your SwapCart platform. You will have to build your exhibit landing page again, because it is a new platform for the 2022 conference. What you will not have to do is rebuild your attendee profile, because SwapCart is a universal platform and they do other events. So if you have an attendee profile and the contacts you have, those will stay associated with your profile, but you will have to rebuild your Exhibitor landing page, but your profile will stay intact from last year's conference.
Nia, there was one other question about virtual showcase analytics. Here, my cat is joining us. So we'll only track virtual showcase analytics if we require the RSVP. Is that, can you clarify on that? Is that how that would be tracked?
That is correct.
All
That
right.
is how that will be tracked, because we are creating the space for showcasing on the platform. But if you are live streaming something, you're using your own platform. So we are creating the listing, and they're all being stored on SwapCards so that all our attendees have access. But once you click through, you're off of the platform, if that's clear. So you do have to utilize the RSVP to track attendance. And this is an enhancement over what we did last year, trying to make sure that everyone has a record of who is participating in their virtual showcases. I think we are coming to the end of the hour. To reiterate, you will be receiving the first attendee list on Monday, November the 22nd. And following that, more information will be available on how you can order furniture with GES, along with information on what the banner sizes will be in the Expo Commons space. And I'm just skimming. Additionally, are there additional questions or no? I think that is everything. Well, sorry, one last note. We are going to be limited in the furniture that is in your space. You could have, if you wanted to order additional chairs, say you wanted to have 6, you could, but it would probably be extremely tight with the table. So then you would have to consider reconfiguring what your space is or not having the table. But you do have the option to configure the 4 tables and chairs in your space, how you would like to arrange it. I think with that, I'm going to say thank you everyone for participating today, for being patient with us, and we look forward to sharing more information with you very soon. Thank you.